And welcome back once again to Ask Coach Wendy alongside Wendy Mader from T2 Coaching. I'm Dave Erickson from EnduranceHour.com. Today's topic, 5 off-season tips for triathletes, Wendy. And these are pretty good. And I like your number 5, but we'll begin with number 1. Don't follow a schedule in the off-season.
So as we approach this time of year, a lot of triathletes have either completed their end of the season, they've completed their final race, and they're wondering what to do in the fall and winter. So really, the number one thing should be just let your schedule, let your training plan go. Don't search for any training plans. Just give your body a period of time where you're not following any structure, any details, or any specific purpose, and just kind of go play.
And take more naps.
Take more naps. Instead of following a training plan, then really put on your training plan, go take a nap. Instead of having that weekend long training session, take a long nap instead. Let your body recover from what you just put it through over the spring and summer season.
Number 2, strength trained, don't bodybuild in the off season.
So really what that means is you don't want to go in the weight room and start lifting heavy weights, trying to build up your biceps, and build up some sort of physique for a fitness competition, unless that's one of your goals. Really what you should do is focus on the strength part of recovery, focusing on that core strength. Yoga, if you don't normally do a yoga program, yoga has some strength benefits as well as it's going to enhance recovery. And just do some really light movements if that's what you want to do in the weight room, is keep it really light and low intensity.
And we've talked about this on the Endurance Hour podcast, is the importance of maybe some lateral movement workouts, because triathlon is so straightforward.
It is so straightforward. So there's a lot of dynamic functional strength training that you can do, and you can probably find online. But the main thing is don't be going pumping a lot of iron. If you want to do that, let that come in the later part of your triathlon season. Right now, you're going into this time of year trying to recover and let your muscles heal.
Number 3, we swim, bike, and run all the time. How about consider a single sport focus in the off season?
So a lot of athletes, once they kind of get through the recovery time period that they're going to handle, they may decide, I want to focus on my swimming and join a master swim program, or just spend more time in the water getting technique help. And other athletes, fall is a great time to do a half marathon or a marathon. So maybe you want to kind of hang up the bike and hang up the swimsuit and just keep your running shoes out and just follow a single sport program for yourself after you've gone through your recovery.
Number 4, keep it social. What do you mean by that?
Keep it social. If you're someone like me, I do all my training alone because usually I have a specific purpose of my plan, and I want to make sure I get it done on my own time, on my own schedule, at my own pace. But what I like to do when I'm not following a training program or preparing for a race, I like to join the group rides or the group runs, meet new people, have some fun, go out for, a beverage or a bite to eat afterwards, and kind of just, lessen the time that I'm training and increase the time that I'm interacting with other athletes.
Yeah, you don't have to be on Facebook all the time to socialize. You can actually socialize in person, so joining a group's a great idea. Number 5, my favorite, is know your why. And is that why in the off-season, why for the next season? What do you mean by know your why?
It applies to both. Know your why of the off-season. I don't think the off-season should be timed specifically off. There is a period of time that you should not do anything, and then there's a period of time where you should be active, doing other things. So know your why going in the off season, because what you do in the off season and how you prepare will affect how you approach the next season. And how you approach the next season, it's important to know your why for the next season so you can plan ahead. Is your why for next season to get faster, or is it to go further? And you want to think about that now so you can kind of plan your training purposes and travel purposes and everything now as you lead up to whatever your why is for next year.
Yeah, having a purpose for what that season's goals are. Okay, 5 off-season tips for triathletes. Thanks very much. If you have a question for Wendy, you can use the hashtag AskCoachWendy on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, we'll find that and we'll showcase it on an upcoming video. We have additional resources in the links below, so if you're interested in that, check it out. Until then, thanks, Wendy. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.